Have you ever imagined a place where billionaires create their own rules, build private cities, and operate outside traditional government control? It may sound like science fiction, but it's real. Hidden off the coast of Honduras lies Próspera, a futuristic charter city designed as a tax haven and innovation hub. It's marketed as a paradise for investors. No income tax, no capital gains tax, and nearly no government interference. But behind the palm trees and luxury villas lies a growing controversy. Because what's heaven for billionaires? Maybe hell for democracy. In this video, we're diving deep into one of the most ambitious, controversial, and possibly illegal experiments in modern geopolitics. Próspera is a Zone for Employment and Economic Development, or ZDA for short, located on the island of Roatan, Honduras. It's not just a special economic zone. It's a semi-autonomous city that operates under its own legal and fiscal system. Founded in 2020 by the private company Próspera Inc., this city was envisioned as a place where startups, crypto companies, and ultra-wealthy individuals could flourish outside the bureaucracy of traditional states. Here's the pitch. No income tax, no corporate tax, minimal regulation, and an open invitation to the world's richest and most innovative minds to build the future. Sounds appealing, right? But here's the catch. It operates within Honduras, yet outside most of Honduran law. The driving force behind Próspera is Eric Briman, a Venezuelan-American entrepreneur with strong libertarian values. He and his team envisioned a libertarian utopia where the free market reigns supreme. Inspired by seasteading, tech enclaves like Dubai's free zones, and even crypto-anarchist ideals, their goal was to start fresh, build a community from the ground up without the inefficiencies of traditional government. To them, this was the solution to corruption, poverty, and bureaucracy. Create private cities governed by contracts and investors, not politicians and voters. But critics argue it's a dangerous experiment in neo-colonialism, where foreign billionaires can play with power in developing countries. Próspera's biggest draw: money. It's a dreamland for the rich. Here's what they offer: no income tax, no corporate tax, no capital gains tax, crypto-friendly legislation, private arbitration courts, digital governance system. It's practically built to attract high-net-worth individuals and companies fleeing regulation. This has led many to call it a legal loophole on an island, and while it's currently small, the vision is massive: to build multiple Próspera-style zones throughout Honduras, and perhaps across the world. Here's where things get murky. Honduras approved the ZE law in 2013 under a previous administration. It allowed for the creation of semi-autonomous zones run by private actors, but in 2022, the new Honduran government declared ZEDAs unconstitutional and voted to repeal the law. Próspera, however, claims it's protected under a 50-year legal stability agreement, meaning they don't need to shut down, even if the law is overturned. This legal standoff has created enormous tension between Próspera Inc. and the Honduran government. To critics, it's proof that private corporations can, and will, override national sovereignty if allowed. The people of Roatan and mainland Honduras haven't been silent. Many locals argue that Próspera threatens their land, resources, and way of life. They claim they were not properly consulted and that foreign investors are seizing control of territory under false pretenses of development. In 2021, protests broke out. Activists, lawyers, and even government officials began to denounce the project. They warned of displacement, corruption, and environmental damage. One Honduran congresswoman even called it a second colonization. So while billionaires see paradise, many locals see a threat. Próspera has its own private governance model. residents must sign an agreement to abide by its civil code, written by the private company, not by a democratic government. Disputes are resolved by arbitrators hired by Próspera, not public courts. There is no traditional political representation. Your power in the city is tied directly to how much you invest. In essence, money equals influence. To critics, this is a dystopia, masquerading as Utopia, a place where citizenship is transactional and the rule of law is optional. Supporters of Próspera see it as the future of governance, a place to test AI-powered systems, blockchain ID cards, and a 100% digital government. Imagine a world where all public services are on your phone, you vote with crypto tokens, disputes are solved by smart contracts, there's zero red tape. Sounds innovative, but what happens when innovation comes without accountability? Próspera is not just testing technology, it's testing a new world order, one where borders are blurred, and the ultra-wealthy can create private nations. Próspera may seem like a small island experiment, but it's part of a bigger trend. Across the globe, we're seeing the rise of private cities, seasteading, and charter zones, places designed to escape traditional governance in favor of market-driven rule. Silicon Valley billionaires are investing in similar concepts in the US, Africa, and Asia. And as wealth inequality grows, so does the appeal of creating exclusive enclaves for the rich. So this isn't just about Honduras. It's a preview of what could come next, unless we start asking the right questions. At its core, Próspera forces us to ask, who gets to design the future? Is it elected governments, with all their flaws and complexities? Or is it private investors, promising efficiency and innovation, but without accountability? The idea of a better-run society is noble, but when building paradise means bypassing democracy, ignoring locals, and rewriting laws for profit, is it really paradise at all? Maybe the real question isn't whether we can build new cities, but whether we're building them for everyone, or just for the few who can afford the view. And hey, if this kind of story got you thinking, maybe that's a sign to stick around. I'll be sharing more eye-opening stories from around the world, stories that challenge what we think is normal. New perspectives, every week. Subscribe if you're curious.